Iran, North Korea's missiles aid to Russia, fueling the wildfires. Greetings, everybody. It has been about a month since Russia has persistently carried out extensive military operations, namely large-scale air attacks against Ukraine, Moscow's largest military operation, since Russia began a targeted assault in Ukraine. On December 29, 2024, Ukrainians were subjected to a barrage of Russian missiles and drones, marking the beginning of the new year 2024. In 2023, a significant number of people lost their lives in Ukraine, which was a troubling omen for the country's prospects in 2024. Moscow's indication of having sufficient resources for a brutal and protracted conflict in the Ukraine further heightened concerns. Analysts predicted that the first phase of this military operation is depleting Ukraine's air defense capabilities, particularly the Nasam-Bos missiles, which have received substantial assistance from Western sources. Moscow used this strategy when the United States and European Union began reductions in financial assistance. Welcome to my new video. We discuss Iran, North Korea's missiles aid to Russia, fueling the wildfires. Please help me to grow this channel by subscribing, commenting, showing it to your friends, and giving it a like. Now let's dive into this exciting topic. The use of military assistance to suppress dissent creates a situation in which Ukraine may soon find itself without any means of protection. The recent round of extensive raids has confirmed Ukraine's long-standing concerns, turning them into a tangible reality. Russia stockpiling missiles to deploy formidable strike formations. During the winter season in recent months, the Russian observation sector has intensified its military-industrial operations in order to bolster reserves for launching extensive assaults on Ukraine at now. The influx of assistance from Western countries has been uninterrupted. Prior to this, Western intelligence services had forecasted that the Russian army would imminently reach a state of depletion and be compelled to cease its combat operations in Ukraine. Nevertheless, Moscow has effectively used public resources. The military sector operates on a far bigger scale compared to the production of combat aircraft. A senior researcher at the British Royal Research Institute said that Russia has effectively shifted to a military economy, increased the military budget by twofold to restore certain fighting capabilities. Russia now manufactures around 100 long-range missiles per month for deployment in Ukraine, a significant increase from the previous manufacturing rate of 40. Additionally, Moscow has escalated its production of artillery rounds, simultaneously acquiring more supply of artillery rounds from other nations, as suggested by several experts, is crucial. Despite Moscow's reliance on new high-tech weaponry, bullets is still seen as the dominant force in warfare. According to the consensus of experts, Russia has a significant numerical superiority of 3-1, or maybe even more in terms of artillery strength in the front line. Furthermore, on January 5th, John Kirby, the coordinator of the U.S. National Security Council for Strategic Communications, made an accusation that North Korea has been providing missiles to Russia. According to John Kirby, it seems that Russian troops initiated the firing of at least one North Korean missile into Ukraine on December 30th, and numerous missiles into Ukraine on December 2nd. One, as per the narrative, North Korea has missiles with a range of around 900 km. Pyongyang's endorsement of Russia is seen as a noteworthy and concerning act of provocation. The U.S. Institute for the Study of War, ISW, has reported that Russia has used North Korean K-23 and KN-24 missiles in Ukraine. According to IFW, these missiles have a greater altitude than the Ukrainian air defense range and are more efficient than some Russian cruise missiles that are known to have a range of around 450 km. These missiles have a warhead weighing 500 kg and may increase their range to 690 km by reducing the payload. K-23 is only capable of deploying nuclear weapons. The K-23 missile has a sinusoidal trajectory at an accelerated velocity, resulting in a significant amount of force. The opponent has increased difficulty in ascertaining both the position and target prior to fire. The KN-24 missile has similarities to the U.S. Navy's Harpoon anti-ship missile, but it distinguishes itself with its advanced guidance system and enhanced mobility. Flight is crucial in attaining accurate and targeted attacks. This is a versatile missile system capable of being armed with either nuclear or conventional warheads. The KN-24 missiles has the capability to substitute North Korea's outdated liquid-fueled missiles. Furthermore, North Korea has the KN-25 missile, which is an 8.2-meter-long super-large barrel rocket launch system weighing 3,000 kg. Ken, which is 25 years old, has an inertial navigation system and has the capability to eliminate targets located 380 kilometers distant, using conventional fragmentation weapons. This weapon resembles a projectile used in artillery warfare, akin to a portable artillery missile system. According to reports from senior U.S. military officials, the North Korean army is capable of launching a sequence of K-25 missiles, with the intention of overpowering the defensive network of their adversaries. The K-25 short-stage ballistic missile, tested by the Korean People's Army, has a range of 380 kilometers. The recent progress in the Chinese ballistic missile testing program seems to be focused on enhancing their capability to counter or diminish the efficiency of missile defense systems installed in the area. According to sources, the Russian military may have obtained AGIS-BMD ballistic missile defense and TSAD high-altitude area defense weapons from North Korea, as stated by a Washington official to South Korea's YH news agency. Partly as a result of the sanctions and export limitations we have imposed, Russia is experiencing growing isolation on the global arena. Consequently, it is compelled to seek military weapons from nations that share similar views, just as we had previously warned. Publicly disclosed that one of the nations was actively seeking financial gain. Nevertheless, U.S. authorities have yet to provide any substantiation for the allegation that Russia used North Korean armaments to assault Ukraine. Furthermore, as reported by the Wall Street Journal, Russia intends to get short-range ballistic missiles from Iran in order to enhance its capacity to target Ukraine's infrastructure. According to U.S. officials, on January 4th, a U.S. newspaper reported the aforementioned information. One of the officials expressed worry about the alleged ongoing negotiations between Russia and Iran regarding the acquisition of Dadaw missiles. The newspaper quoted officials who stated that these weapons could potentially be delivered as early as this summer. According to military analysts, if a deal is reached, Russia's acquisition of Iranian missiles this spring is expected to significantly incapacitate Ukraine's air defense system. Furthermore, the accord between Moscow and Tehran will substantially enhance Iran's military might and bolster the country's economic prosperity. Western media has already made statements on claims of military cooperation between Russia and Iran. October 2022, The Washington Post reports that Iran is anticipated to provide Russia with a range of armaments, such as surface-to-surface ballistic missiles and batches of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. However, at now, the Western entities are unable to provide substantiating proof, similar to the situations with Moscow and the Terran dynasty, has consistently refuted Western allegations. Mr. Jor Inus, a spokesperson for the UK air military, openly acknowledged that the military is unable to verify reports suggesting that Russia potentially used anti-aircraft missiles acquired from the United States. Mincho confidently said that ballistic missiles were launched, but we have still to determine the specific kind of ballistic missiles and their origin. Currently, there is no evidence to suggest that these missiles were created by North Korea. The Ukrainian official said that the U.S. has issued a statement on this issue. Consequently, specialists will examine certain parts of SOCs in order to determine the veracity of the claim. Is it accurate or not? It remains unable to verify this. Furthermore, Mr. Menace said that North Korea has a multitude of weaponry from the Soviet period, along with technological advancements that were shared by the Soviet Union with Pyongyang. Given that the weapons are potentially indistinguishable, it is unlikely that we will encounter any novel information. The Russian and North Korean Iskander missiles exhibit certain differences, albeit not significant. However, the KHB coordinator asserted that the United States possesses evidence of Russia acquiring ballistic missiles from North Korea, along with ongoing negotiations between Moscow and Tehran for the procurement of similar weaponry. This statement was made in response to these activities, Russia's interactions with Iran and North Korea. We are implementing a variety of strategies in collaboration with our friends and partners. Additionally, Mr. John Kirby has verified that the United States is in the process of formulating further penalties on individuals believed to be involved. There are suspicions over the reports that North Korea and Iran have been providing weaponry, such as ballistic missiles, to Russia. Previously, several specialists have issued warnings over the state of affairs in Ukraine in 2024. According to Andrei Zorosnuis, a former Ukrainian defense minister, Ukrainian troops are now in a position of inferiority. Throughout the majority of the front line, the ex-Ukrainian defense minister characterized the conditions faced by the soldiers stationed on the Kiev front line as very challenging. Despite this, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky remains steadfast in his belief in the Kiev battle. He said that the Ukrainian army successfully overcame the Russian blockade in the Black Sea in 2023. According to Mr. Zelensky, Ukraine's primary objective in 2024 is to persistently carry out offensives on the Crimean Peninsula, therefore isolating the Russian troops present in this region, as well as in southern Ukraine. During an interview with the Economic Daily on January 2nd, President Zelensky hinted that Kiev would go out. A succession of incursions into Crimea, aiming to isolate the peninsula that Russia annexed in 2014. As stated by the country's leader, Ukraine has boosted its military manufacturing efforts, with the objective of producing 1 million drones in the next year. Kiev has initiated collaboration with Western armament producers. The Western countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, and Germany, want to foster production and trade partnerships. Zelensky asserts the feasibility of initiating defense initiatives that have significance for the security of the whole of Europe. Nevertheless, despite claims of triumph, the actual situation on the battlefield indicates that Ukraine is compelled to transition from an aggressive stance during the summer assault to a defensive one. The Minister of Defensive, Seaman, issues a warning that Ukraine must promptly fortify its defensive system and start preparations for the next season. Ukraine's next challenge is the mobilization of resources. Both the Ukrainian president and his senior military officers seem reluctant to assume responsibility for the challenges they have in recruiting more female combatants. Observations indicate that in the event of Russia continuing in large-scale attacks on Ukraine, the likelihood of peace negotiations is very low, regardless of Moscow's repeated calls for NGO to halt hostilities. We appreciate your viewership of the video. If you found the movie to be of high quality and intellectually stimulating, please remember to like and subscribe in order to show your support for the channel's staff. Currently, I bid you greetings and anticipate our future encounters in forthcoming videos. Bye and have a nice day.